Good morning, welcome wherever you are on this planet today. My name is Angela Miller and I am from the amazing resolution agency Concordia Consularis, the spiritual and business agency of the Fifth World of Peace. And during our series of resolutions, today we are talking to Claire Osborne from the UK, and I'm just going to bring her on and figure that out. Yeah, and we're going to talk briefly about her issues and the type of thing she has experienced in this lifetime that prevents her from moving forward in the way that she should. So just bear with me and your starting video. Hello, Claire.
Hello, Angela, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you very much.
Could you give our listeners a brief overview as to what kind of problems you have experienced in this lifetime?
Well, obviously coming into this world, being a light worker and having the path of darker forces that have always tried to keep me down. I have experienced, many things that have tried to keep me down and hold me back, whether it be from childhood or going into adulthood. I seem to have had characters that have also come my way who just have a darker energy. And but I also understand that I played a role in this as well, as you do. And I've now come to the point where I am now, where I'm observing my participation in the reality that I'm in now, and I'm trying my best to clear all of the trauma that's gone through. And I'm now currently standing in a space of, being as clear as I possibly can, but obviously needing more assistance to clear some more.
So can you go into a little bit more detail about the types of trauma that you've experienced?
Well, I've obviously had childhood traumas of abuse, and then coming into adulthood, then you tend to pick that same character as partners or as friends. So you tend to go with, the devil, as they say. But you will eventually get to a point where you realize that it is just the traumas that you've had that keep you in that space. And I do feel until that cup is full of realizing that these traumas have to be in place to create the character you are now. So I'm at that point now. So I've had a lot of abuse on many levels from childhood coming up into adulthood. And but also, again, taking responsibility for the fact that, we all play a part in this ourselves. So that helps in healing the trauma and taking responsibility for our part.
Yeah. And was the childhood abuse from family members or a particular family member? Yeah.
Yes, it was, yeah.
Yeah. If you can give a bit more information, that is going to help many people to really hear that you can do something.
Yes. Basically being born into a family where my father is bipolar, and he has narcissistic tendencies. So not only did he abuse myself and my brother, he also abused my mother. So, we've grown up in that world of realizing, I think it was probably when I was about 11, when I started mixing with other families, that I started to realize that my family was very dysfunctional. And then obviously growing up again into my teens and having sexual abuse, from, male friends or things like this. So it just seems to be the cycle of constant abuse that I was experiencing from, the males, really. And then just continuing into adulthood and picking partners who were very similar.
Yeah. Wow. So this is, thank you for saying that and sharing that, because many people go through this and they don't even realize it. They just accept it as being normal, Well, we're going to look at those things today. Typical. My connection is unstable. I'm praying it will be okay.
You're breaking up there slightly.
Yeah, just as we're about to get going. Oh, it's okay. I'm sure it's going to stabilize. We speak.
You've come back in. You've come back in.
Yeah. So just, it doesn't surprise me because that's quite normal for there to be some sort of interference before we go and hit the nail on the head. So I just want you to breathe in deeply into your heart. And just take your awareness inwards. And just connect to your heart. Let go of fear, the fear that is behind you and has been around you. We're just opening up the spiritual courts of equity so we can provide this. This is quite a high level resolution that affects your soul family. And I just want you to let go of the impacts to your shoulders, spine. And letting go of a deep sense of low self-worth. They crushed you at times. So we're just opening up there with all ancestors being connected to you, your guides, and those who inflicted pain upon you and other beings. And we're letting go of a deep generational family pattern. It's going to rise up through your body. Most of it is residing in your head. Do you ever experience headaches or anything like that?
Yes, I do suffer from migraines.
Yeah. And how long do they last?
About 3 days.
Do you get the stabbing in the eye thing with the light sensitivity?
Yeah, I do. If it's a bad one, then yeah. And funny enough, this is where it starts.
Yeah.
Over here, and then
yeah.
can come down my face. But this is where my migraine starts.
Okay. And how was your birth? When your mother gave birth to you, was it a simple birth, an easy birth, or a long, laborious?
It was a quick and easy birth. I think it was about 4 hours, possibly, but her pregnancy wasn't nice. Her pregnancy wasn't really good.
Okay. So your father abused her, basically, while she was pregnant with you?
Yeah.
Right, we're going to let go of tremendous sorrow here because you came in too quickly. You didn't want to come in and be rushed, but you were. So that's going to peel off you. It's going to release. So just prepare for it. It's coming down the legs, in the right leg in specific. It may have been the way you were pulled out or handled after you arrived into this world. So we're letting go of birth impacts here too. Just breathe in and release. Down to your core levels. Your soul imprint was dramatically affected here. So we're just letting that go. I've got your ancestors here, your light line of creation. How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I've got one brother and 2 step siblings, brother and sister. And I've got one 100% biological brother.
And is he older or younger than you?
He's younger than me.
Okay. So you are carrying everything to do with your parents. Okay. So there's tremendous amounts here that are just going to start coming off. I want you to describe what you're feeling during this process.
Okay. I'm feeling a lot of resentment and pain that my brother's actually holding, funny enough.
Mm.
And I was actually, it was coming into my reality before we even did this. And understanding that he himself is trying to release his pain. So that is something that was coming into my mind, because he's not understanding his pain at the minute, and he's directing it in the wrong direction, which would be towards my mother or myself, instead of getting to the root of the actual trauma that was caused by my father.
Yeah, he kind of is blaming you, but all in a way. So he will benefit from this process dramatically too, which is good.
Mm.
This is why I love this level of resolution. We're able to reach family members too. Okay, so there is a tremendous amount that's going to come off you. We're just going to upshift into the next gear. We're only in second at the moment, maybe just coming out first. Enjoy it, darling. This is going to be amazing for you. It's going to transform your existence.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Right, expand your heart. I'm going to really push you because you can handle this. I say that to everybody that records. You can handle this. You're never presented with anything that you can't handle. Okay. All that is going to come out of your throat, your voice, the words you couldn't say when your father was manipulative as a young child. All the gross feelings that you felt when he came near you. You didn't know where you stood. Your mother, bless her. Oh my goodness, so sad. So we're letting go of your mother's sadness and the impacts from this super fast birth.
Mm-hmm.
You really came in too quickly.
Yeah.
But you couldn't wait to get out of it in some way. So it's a double-edged sword, you know? It's like, yeah, I should be here, but I've got to go. I can't take it anymore. You know, bless you. Right. So we're just looking at your ancestors and your light line of creation here. Now, both lineages have been dramatically impacted by war and abuse here, and they have interlinked over time. Just reviewing here, we've got all your soul contracts going on, just bringing them forward. So can you describe your physical sensations while I just do a bit of whooshing in the background?
Feeling here, a lot of energy sitting here at the moment. And then it links down into the upper part of the chest. So I'm feeling that slightly at the moment.
Yeah. So in your thymus, it's your gateway between your heart and the soul. So we're just looking at blockages there that have affected your soul family. It's quite an entangled mess. We're going to get you disentangled from the 15. Now, there are a lot of magical forces here on the planet. I'm going to refer to them as magical. We know what they are in their darkness. And there are actually 17 of those. So I'm just going to initiate a process. Right, old beliefs that aren't yours are going to start coming off.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that keeps you locked in to your own expansion, please can you remove? The divine force of grace is coming to you. It's going to sweep through you.
Getting a lot of energy in my solar plexus right now as well.
All the criticisms, you know?
Mm.
And it's a bit like coming to earth and being tortured, basically. And I'm sure many families or people in families have experienced this and have no awareness of it. You didn't come here to be tortured.
Yes. No.
Stress in your arms where you've sunk the emotions. This is quite a common place. Just working on your stress levels and the astral pressure that was put upon you, is put upon you. Now, female creator source, feminine aspect of our divinity is with you very strongly. Just feel that coming in. All right, we're just making massive breakthroughs here. The shininess of your soul is increasing, but I'm going to do a bit more work around your head and the headaches. And I want you to face your mother and father in this moment. There's a lot of grief and hate. All entrapment here to your soul group. I'm just going to bring forward and get you disentangled. Just bringing your apex in. And we're melting through tears of suffering. You acknowledge them, but let it go. Now T1 to T5 is massively affected. We're just going to do some stuff with your skeletal system. You're going to feel the light of purity sweeping in and around you through all your cells. How much do you feel connected to your father in this moment?
I do understand that he's experienced his own trauma and he's just repeated the trauma that he has experienced in his childhood and he's just continued on with it. I understand that it was my responsibility to break that cycle, to heal that for him as well.
What was his abuse story? Where did he grow up?
Very similar to mine. He grew up, he was born in Malta. His father is English, his mother is Scottish, but his father was in the Navy, so they traveled around. He was born in Malta, he grew up in Singapore, and then in his teens, he went back to Scotland. But his father was absent because he was in the Navy. But when his father was around, he beat my father. So my grandfather used to beat my father. But my father's resentment towards his mother, because it was his mother that he used to tell the father that he was misbehaving. So he holds a lot of resentment towards women because of the mother, his mother.
Hence the pattern with your brother today.
Mm.
Right, so as this story unfolds, we do have an impact here from, I don't even want to name the organisation, but I think we know what we're talking about. It bears a cross, literally to bear. And that was imposed on him from just being born there into that grid. So I'm going to ask them to let them go. They've controlled 9 generations of you in the male line. Here is required for the head honcho of that organisation, the originator, to step forward. They're really pissed off, but hey. So I want you to tell all these beings that today it stops. Enough now. And give it to them good.
Yeah, I'm done. This is it. Yeah, this is it. I'm done. I'm ready to break free, and I want to stand in my full potential. This is what I want to do.
So let's just.
And my voice works.
I know.
But yes, I'm ready and I'm done. Yes, they are.
Okay. So I'm just here going to enter your past life contracts with them and what your involvement has been. Now, what they are expecting you to do is to take from others, to take energy and resources and magical trickery into what you do. So I'm just explaining that that is not a viable option, that you do not wish or choose to do that. Any attempts for them to utilize your frequency is a complete violation on through many generations, and that now it stops.
Yes, I'm tired of being fed on energetically.
Yeah.
And I know it's been happening my whole life.
Yeah. And they've sent others in from that particular organization, the partners, just waking sleepers to come in and just mess around with your frequency. No longer viable. So I'm giving them a huge warning because they're threatening me for this. So I'm just checking the influences behind that organization in particular. Now you have a particular thing that you can do. Now I just want your soul, I'm asking your soul to cancel all agreements, vows, contracts with this organization and all others linked to it. And they're saying, this is the price you're going to pay. Well, she is not going to pay your price.
No.
All debts are getting cancelled. So I'm just assimilating the entirety of your soul accounts, as it were, for balance and audit. Now let go of any shame that you have experienced as a result of this, anything that you've inherited, anything at all that is not your true soul beingness. And if you can describe your physical process.
I'm shaking it all off now. I'm being shown all the ties that have been holding me back, only being cut away. They were trying to dull me down. They were trying to dull my shine, and I'm seeing that it's now being cut away, and I'm being allowed to stand in my strength.
Brilliant. Also,
yes.
that they're trying to plug into you, into your energy to feed the new world order.
Yes.
It's a joke. I just can't believe how these people operate sometimes. Well, I can because I'm an old cynic, but we're just going to get that dealt with because that affects your movement, your thought, your direction, and where you eventually end up. So that will come up from the neck, from the left part of your neck, shoulder, That's good. I'm seeing those connections lift. So I just want you to look at your father and forgive him from the heart. And we're going to show him the bigger picture of the whole entire journey that your family has experienced as a result of these mass migrations. Say it out aloud. It will help.
I forgive you, and I release my trauma and any resentment. And I wish you the same for yourself, so that you may release your traumas and resentments. His energy is very heavy. I can see that.
Yeah, we're just going to give him some support there. He was literally born into it. There was nothing he could do. I'm just explaining to him that they wanted him to give birth or provide generations that would literally feed that organization. He found more people.
I'm telling him he can release.
I beg your pardon?
I'm telling him now that he can release this, and also to forgive self.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was happier in Scotland. Right, there's a lot of movement there now. I can feel a lot of the Scottish generations assembling, ready, like Braveheart. Oh, okay, so we're just taking that back. I'm just doing some work with the earlier generations there. There's a lot of battling and signing up for royal houses and all of that stuff that only mattered to the English. You know, the battle for free will. Wow, it's quite something. Okay, so we're going to look at Mother. And we're just going to give her a bit of support there with her pain and suffering that she has experienced as a woman in this lifetime. Misled by his untruth, basically. And do the same.
Yeah, it was her naivety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She loved him once, you know.
It was her naivety. Yeah, she did.
And as a woman, she gave her heart to that scenario for her family and children. And so many women do this.
Yes.
So let's just get her heart back. I'm going to initiate a specific process for that. And we're just going to move through your whole lineage, ancestral and star, soul group. Any beings of forced domination. And also any fallen angel, angelic groups that have tried to tarnish your journey. You will not fall with them. Not this time.
No.
Just going to power up and love them. All multidimensional parts of you. All those lost couldn't come in. Across time. Realigning you to Earth. Now there are other processes that are going to really shift you that are happening in the background. Too many to speak. But there's one in particular that's coming in. Can you feel that? Let's breathe deeply into the chest. It's going to need you to physically expand.
I can feel it in my shoulders and up my spine.
Hips and womb. Do you have children?
5.
Wow. So, number 5, we'll talk about that in a minute. Letting go of all their impacts too in this moment. And initiate something else for them. They're all so beautiful. How old's the little one?
He's 3. He turned 3 in October.
He's got a lot to say.
He does. Very bossy.
Yes, his favourite word is mummy.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Just ensuring that goes through them. Lifts from you all. Okay, so I'm just going to have a little dig around in your lineage. If you could explain what you're feeling while I do that.
I'm actually feeling health trauma with one of my children. He's holding resentment from past.
Yeah. How old's that one?
He's 20.
20. I'm just showing him he can handle this. He's quite a somebody. So I'm just looking at, while you're doing that, I would do a few things all at the same time. It's like juggling many balls. But in this particular case, there's a particular issue with your mother's line and how their planetary, there's been a damage to your original place of being from your light line. It's like a massive planetary explosion that has rippled out and literally disrupted the energetics of actually both your maternal and paternal line here. So it just goes to show how closely they were linked. So I'm just going to bring in the creator and originator of that line damage. There's a lot of panic and fear here. You might feel that around you as it comes off. That, you know, they were completely, they couldn't settle anywhere. I'm going to say that again because my connection was unstable, but their whole frequency was damaged here, and it literally spun them out. I could just see these waves of shock. So we're just going to work on those levels. There's panic, incredible panic. So it wouldn't surprise me if anxiety was the main feature of the illnesses in your line. And would have manifested in various ways, but definitely panic disorders, anxiety, depression, and PTSD, not knowing where that was coming from. Okay. The ones that came to Earth were the most shocked. They thought they would receive respite here. Okay, so I'm going to initiate another process. They're just trying to get an awareness of what happened. It really blew out their circuitry.
Really?
I'm also going to get them released from Saturnine controls who were involved with that. And I also want to bring forward all shadow aspects of you that are not in peace because of all this scenario. It makes you wonder how you could even have 5 kids and get up in the morning with this lot going on. Well done. God. Oh. Whoa, movement. That's wonderful. So we're stabilizing things in your light line. Gives me chills. Now, if there's any parts of you, aspects or shadow parts of you that have negotiated with other groups, let's say, other factions, just tell them you're cancelling, you've had enough now, you've got enough on your plate.
I'm cancelling, I'm done. Contracts are over, everything's done.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Right, that's just ricocheting out there. So in a massive beam, can you just go into your heart for me and tell me what colour your heart is?
It's yellow.
Okay. Highly intelligent? Gold. Lovely. I know you're near North Wales, so it might bring that part of me out. Oh, some things I really miss about the UK. Right, whoa, okay, so you're going to have a huge energy that's coming back from your light line of creation. I just want you to look at them all and look at their responses and tell me what you see.
They are pleased. They are pleased, and they are holding joy.
Allow that to come through you and that love. Just taking that through into your future generations, that they may know true peace being here on earth. Just resetting your central nervous system.
They're saying they can see now.
And what percentage of system karma and ancestral debt are you holding?
I was holding quite a bit, but with a lot of work I've been doing on self, clearing itself away. And
Could you repeat that for me, please? What percentage? I was breaking up then.
they're showing me 10 at this point, but they said it was more.
Okay.
They were showing me there was a lot more, but they're showing me the number 10 now.
Okay, good. So that's good. It's come down an awful lot. Now, to all those that you have wronged, can you apologize?
I apologize with all my heart and soul for any way that I've affected anyone, and I allow that peace in their hearts and forgiveness.
And just feel that come back to you in the form of pure forgiveness.
Lots of releasing going on, I can see that.
Yeah. And also it's going to upshift your energy centers at a multidimensional level. So we're just looking here at all aspects of you. We just want to let them know, we're letting them know that it is time to come back into calibrated peace in this lifetime, that they are safe to do so. There's a little bit more work to do on the outer edges of that. Just going to get that completed. And in these moments, forgive yourself. And really boom it out from your heart. I forgive myself. So, say it out aloud like it's a rhythmic song from your heart, like you're singing to the children.
Sorry, you broke up there.
Say it out aloud, I forgive myself. It's a bit like a rhythmic song, like you'd sing to your own children.
I forgive myself. I forgive myself. I forgive.
So allow that to expand your heart. We're just going to be having an engagement with your elders. Just feel that come in. This is what you needed all your lifetime. Feel the shift through your energetics, through your physical, spirit and soul. Feel the courage coming back to you. The courage to continue your work. Emitting that strength and courage to all the children. Breathe and expand your light. You will never be separated from them again. That was always your worry. Where are they? Now they are with you in your heart.
Yes.
So in this moment, I want you to just assess your guides and helpers. And just go through them. Is anyone doing their job properly here? Has anyone, or should I say, has anyone misguided you?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell them they're fired to go and we're just going to get you connected.
I can see one holding frustration.
Yeah, and they cannot vent their frustration on your journey.
I can see one's frustrated. One is also very young and is learning.
I'm going to upshift their learning. They've got potential. The other one needs some support and a rest.
Mm-hmm.
It has been trying to help you, but it hasn't been able to.
Yes, that's tired. One's tired and one's young as well.
We know. I don't believe in writing anything off. So I'm just going to initiate a process for being. How do they look now?
Their form has changed. They look more lighter, more like a bluey light in a way. It's very strange.
And it's your choice if you wish to work with this being. They are improving.
The older one is tired.
Weary of it all, I get it.
He's tired. It's masculine energy.
They can go for a rest if they like. Everyone needs that right now.
Yeah. There are other lighter beings here as well.
Good.
They don't seem to have any physical shape as such. They're just light blue beings.
Right, we're going into turbo boost now. What percentage of system debt and ancestral karma do you have now?
It's showing me a 3.
Okay. Now, I'm going to ask your soul to complete what it needs to do. You've got to trust your heart. Trust your soul to work as one. I know it's been hard with all those influences, but now is different.
Just being released now.
Tell me when you get to 0.
We're at 0 now.
And what, as you look back across all your lives, is the biggest lesson that you have learned?
To trust the self. To trust that inner voice and that self.
Can you say that 3 times for me, please? I trust myself and soul.
I trust myself and soul. My throat's going. I trust myself and soul. I trust myself and soul.
That's going to be a mantra for eternity.
Yeah. I'm gonna get it tattooed on myself.
Yeah, exactly. Write it on your mirror in your bathroom. Big arrows pointing down.
Yes.
So what percentage of system debt and ancestral karma have you got?
It's a big fat 0.
Wonderful. So we're just going to bring that joy and expand it all around you, through you, throughout your home. In all degrees of separation. Grounding and integrating in the mind. How does that feel?
It feels really good. It really does. It feels very powerful.
How does the physical aspect feel around the head now, migraines?
It's very tingly. I'm experiencing a lot of tingle that is coming up and around the head. And just, there's a lot, I can just feel this less pressure sitting above the eyebrows as well.
Brilliant. If you can see a craniosacral therapist, an advanced one, to assist with that release and integration, that's going to do you a world of good, especially after all those 5 births. I say it to every woman: hips, heart, womb, head.
Yeah. Yes. Definitely.
Right, so just breathe in and integrate that. I'm just going to sign off here from the broadcast. Thank you for joining us on this very sacred mission. This has been the lovely Claire on her journey, revealing the experiences that she has had, which now will be dramatically different in her existence, in her work. And you are meant to be working with children as well, by the way, because you're an angel.
Thank you.
So this has been Concordia Consularis. My name is Angela Miller, and we are the world's premier spiritual and business agency of peace in this existence and reality across all time, no time, and everywhere in between. So come find us. If you would like to book a private session with me, you can do so. Maybe sometimes your issues might feel a bit more sensitive and you don't wish to bring that into the public arena. You can contact me at Harmony in Perfect Counsel on Facebook. You can email me, the links will be down below. I also offer retreats in Mexico and other locations, and trainings and activations that will benefit your existence no matter what path you take. This is all about your inner resilience at these very challenging times. So thank you very much for joining us, and we shall see you next time with another amazing resolution.